Good morning, students. I hope you are all doing good. Let us see what we are going to discuss in today's class. Good morning, ma. In previous class, we have seen how to derive Boyle's law, Charles' law, Avogadro's law, Graham's law of diffusion, even Dalton's law of partial pressures by using kinetic molecular theory of gases. In today's class, we will see how to derive kinetic energy from this kinetic molecular theory of gases equation. PV is equal to 1 by 3 mn c square. Okay, let us consider first from kinetic molecular theory of gases. I wrote PV is equal to 1 by 3 into mn c square. PV is equal to 2 by 3 into 1 by 2 into mn c square, multiplying and dividing by 2. Next, PV is equal to 2 by 3 into 1 by 2 into capital M c square, where capital M is called total mass of gas. Small m is mass of one particle, one molecule. N is number of molecules. When we multiply both of them, you will get mass of gas, total mass of gas. So this equation will become PV is equal to 2 by 3 into 1 by 2 into mc square. We know that kinetic energy is equal to half m square. Here half is there, m is mass of the gas, c is velocity of the gas, which is called RMS velocity. Then this half m is mc square, we can write it as kinetic energy. So this implies PV is equal to 2 by 3 into kinetic energy. PV is equal to 2 by 3 into kinetic energy. Next, after writing this one, I am going to write kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 into PV. Kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 into PV. But for an ideal gas, from ideal gas equation, PV is equal to nRT. Substitute this PV is equal to nRT in this one, PV. Instead of this PV, substitute this nRT. Then this implies kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 into nRT. Kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 into nRT, where n is the number of moles of gas. Next, for 1 mole of gas, this kinetic energy will become kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 RT. This is for 1 mole of gas. For 1 mole of gas, kinetic energy is equal to 3 by 2 RT, because n is equal to number of moles here. Please be particular about that one. Here n is number of molecules of the gas, m is mass of each particle, each molecule, it will become capital M. But here this n is obtained from PV is equal to nRT, where n is called number of moles of the gas. This is for 1 mole. Now for 1 mole of gas, kinetic energy is equal to 3/2 RT. 1 mole of gas has kinetic energy 3/2 RT. 1 molecule has how much kinetic energy? 1 mole has 3/2 RT. 1 molecule has how much kinetic energy? Question mark is here. These two must be multiplied. 1 into 3/2 RT whole divided by 1 mole. This implies kinetic energy of 1 molecule is equal to 3/2 RT divided by 1 mole 6.023 into 10 power 23 can be represented as N naught or Na. Anything is same only. Avogadro's number 6.023 10 power 23, where N naught is equal to 6.023 into 10 power 23. So finally I am going to write kinetic energy of 1 molecule is equal to 3/2 into R by N naught into capital T. R is a constant, universal gas constant. N naught is also 6.023 10 power 23. It is a constant, where R by N naught is equal to one more constant which is called Boltzmann constant, which is represented by K. Boltzmann constant is represented by K. Therefore, kinetic energy of 1 molecule is equal to 3/2 into K into T, where K is called Boltzmann constant, R by N naught. Now value of K, Boltzmann constant K is equal to R value 8.314 divided by N naught 6.023 into 10 power 23 is equal to, these two if you calculate you will get 1.38 into this 10 power 23. If it comes to numerator, it will become 10 power minus 23 units joule per Kelvin per molecule. Joule per Kelvin per molecule. This is the value of Boltzmann constant K, which is equal to 1.38 into 10 power minus 16 erg per Kelvin per molecule. In solving the problems, this is very useful formula. If they give for 1 molecule, we have to take kinetic energy like this. Actually, velocity of 1 molecule, it is very difficult to find. If you are able to find 1 molecule velocity, then only we can find kinetic energy of 1 molecule. But it is very difficult. But by using this derivation from this kinetic molecular theory of gases, we are able to find kinetic energy of 1 molecule also. But this is completely mathematical expression. Kinetic energy is equal to 3/2 kT. It is the kinetic energy of 1 molecule. Kinetic energy of 1 molecule formula Ke is equal to 3 by 2 kT. Kinetic energy of 1 mole, Ke is equal to 3 by 2 RT. Kinetic energy of n moles of gas, 3 by 2 nRT. So according to given problem, whether they have given in number of moles or molecules or whatever it is, we will use this type of problem to solve this type of formula to solve the problems, which is very useful while we are doing the problems. Okay, ma? These are the derivations we have done by using kinetic molecular theory of gases. All the derivations we have done, even kinetic energy of one molecule also we have done now. Is it okay? This is about kinetic molecular theory of gases, but by using kinetic molecular theory of gases, we came to one conclusion that in the nature, no gas is ideal in nature. All the gases are real gases. Ideal gas is also called perfect gas. Ideal gas, no gas is behaving like ideal gas according to kinetic molecular theory of gases. Is it clear? That's why now our next side heading is deviation of real gases from ideal gas, or otherwise non-ideal behavior of gases. So our next side heading is non-ideal behavior of gases. What is meant by non-ideal behavior? All the gases which are present in the nature, they are not ideal. They are all real gases. Then we are going to discuss what about their nature with respect to idealness. Already we found ideal gas equation, PV is equal to nRT. Then what about these gases? These gases, are they obeying idealness or not? We want to check that one. Is it okay? First, before that one, the gases which obey ideal gas equation, PV is equal to nRT, and the equation from kinetic molecular theory of gases, that is PV is equal to 1 by 3 mnc square. Any equation if they follow, those gases are called ideal gas. Any equation if they follow, those gases are called ideal gases. But coming to our realistic nature, that means what are the gases present in our nature? Those gases are not behaving like real ideal gas. Those are all real gases. Those deviations we are going to study now by considering the graph between PV versus P. We are going to draw the graph between PV versus P at constant temperature, which is called, these are all called isotherms. In Boyle's law also we have seen. Is it okay? Now we are going to see the graph between PV versus P at constant temperature. According to Boyle's law, PV is constant. So on y-axis I am going to take PV. On x-axis I am going to consider P. Straight line parallel to x-axis, that means it is constant. If we get straight line, that is called ideal gas. If we get straight line, that is called ideal gas. But in our nature, ideal gases are not there, so they will show some deviation from ideal gas. So if you draw curves for different gases here, they will get differently, not straight line. How do they get? Let us see. This is the curve for hydrogen gas. This is the curve for helium gas. This is the curve for CO gas. This is the curve for CH4 gas. Like this, differently they are showing the curves. Actually, if an ideal gas is there, it should show straight line when we draw PV versus P. But these gases which are present, methane, CO, H2, He, these are all gases which are present in the nature. They are showing some deviation. See, hydrogen gas, every time that line is above this idealness. Helium gas above this idealness. Hydrogen gas, CO, it is showing some below deflection, after that again above deflection. CH4 also like that only. That means these gases are not behaving like idealness. But from this graph, if you observe, all these gases, they are going to meet the point. The straight line, wherever we have taken the point, that is nothing but ideal gas only. On this straight line, wherever we have taken, that is nothing but ideal gas. Here, if you consider this point, all the gases, they are going to meet at this point. That means real gases are behaving like ideal gas at very low pressure. See, on x-axis pressure increases. This region is nothing but very low pressure region. From this graph we can understand that at very low pressure region, if you observe different gases present, those gases curves are approaching the point like ideal gas. That means real gases will behave like ideal gas at very low pressures. Real gases will behave like ideal gas at very low pressures. Small idea we got from this point. Is it okay, ma? But not only this curve, we can draw one more curve, that is pressure versus volume at constant temperature. These are all isotherms, ma. Pressure versus volume, I am going to draw the graph. On x-axis we are going to consider volume, on y-axis we are going to consider pressure. Normal ideal gas will show hyperbola in this region, but real gas is showing slight variation like this. This is the curve for real gas, and this is the curve for ideal gas. This is the curve for ideal gas, this is the curve for real gas. On x-axis we have taken volume, on y-axis we have taken pressure. At very low pressure, CMA, almost it is reaching the point. At very low pressure only, real gas curve is touching the ideal gas. From this also we can understand. I hope till now it is clear for you. Today we have started the session with derivation of kinetic energy for one molecule. After completion of the derivation, we have kept the side heading non-ideal behavior of gases. In non-ideal behavior of gases, we are seeing that how these real gases are deviating from ideal gas. By using the graphs, we are going to see them. Those graphs are first one PV versus P and P versus V. By using these graphs, we can understand, or we can get one small idea that in what way real gases are getting deviated from ideal gas. In what way real gases are getting deviated from ideal gas. Is it okay, ma? Now, our next point is, let us observe the textbook once. These are the graphs I have shown now. Now we will check with. It is found that Real gases do not follow Boyle's law, Charles' law, and Avogadro's law by a critical examination of figure 18. These two are only those figures, 18 and 19. Two questions arise. Why do gases deviate from the ideal gas behavior? What are the conditions under which gases deviate from ideality? Meaning, why first these gases are getting deviation from ideal gas? Next one, at what conditions these are getting deviated from ideality? Those two questions must be answered. Okay, now answer to the first question is that two assumptions of the kinetic theory do not hold good. These assumptions are, first I am giving conclusion that if a gas is obeying all the assumptions of kinetic molecular theory of gases, then that gas is ideal gas. But in that, two important points are there. Those two important points are, one is, according to kinetic molecular theory of gases, there are no attractions and repulsions between molecules of a gas. There should not be any attractions and repulsions between molecules of a gas. That is according to kinetic molecular theory of gases. There should not be any attraction and repulsion between gas molecules. That is assumption from kinetic molecular theory. But practically, attractions will be there because we are able to liquefy any gas present in the nature. How can we liquefy any gas present in the nature? If the gas molecules are attracted, then only we can liquefy the gas. Otherwise, it is not at all possible. Let us consider in this container, if it is ideal gas, there should not be any attraction between gas molecules. Then simply they are present, they are moving from one another without any attraction. Is it correct? If there is no attraction present, how can we get the molecules nearby each other, and how can we liquefy them? It is not possible. If any gas is ideal gas present in the nature, that ideal gas cannot be liquefied. Ideal gas cannot be liquefied. But the gases which are present in the nature, those are real gases, they can be liquefied. Meaning, between molecules, attractions and repulsions are present between the molecules in real gases. That is the point, they are deviated from ideal gas. Correct or not? Ideal gas should not contain any attraction or repulsion. But practically, real gases contain attractions or repulsions between the molecules. That's why only we are able to liquefy the real gas. See, first point, there are no attractions and repulsions between molecules of a gas. Second one, volume occupied by gas molecules is negligibly small in comparison to the volume of the gas. This should be considered according to ideal gas. But practically, volume of the gas molecules also must be considered. Then only we can say that is real gas correctly. We cannot neglect the gas molecules volume. But assumption is that we should neglect the volume of the gas because gas particle is very small when compared to the volume of the container. When compared to the volume of the container, gas particle is very small. Then we can neglect that one, like that they told. Okay, these two assumptions are not good for real gases. That's why real gases are not showing idealness. Okay, now observe this one. If assumption A is correct, what is that assumption A? There are no attractions and repulsions between molecules of a gas. If assumption A is correct, the gases will never liquefy. However, we know that gases do liquefy when cooled and compressed. It is very difficult to compress the liquids formed. This means both attractions or repulsions play an important role between molecules of a real gas. Next one, if assumption B is correct, the experimental data of the pressure volume graph of a real and the theoretical calculated data of Boyle's ideal gas should coincide. Though some sort of coincidence is there between experimental and theoretical data at low pressures, deviation is much at high pressures. What did I say? Real gases are behaving like idealness at low pressures only. At high pressures, see the graph, ma. This is high pressure region. These are all high pressure regions. At this region, the deviations, these curves are all above idealness. That means they are very much deviated from the ideal gas nature at high pressure. At low pressure, they are reaching this point, meaning they are able to reach the idealness. Okay? This means the volume occupied by gas molecules is considerable, but according to idealness, it should be neglected. Real gases show deviations from ideal gas behavior mainly because molecules of a gas interact with each other. These interactions are significant at high pressures and low temperatures. A real gas may behave like an ideal gas at low pressure and high temperature. Very important point, note down, ma. At low pressure and high temperature, real gases are behaving almost like ideal gas. Now coming to this one. Assumptions A and B of the kinetic gas theory are acceptable for gases if the pressures are low and the temperatures are high. A and B will be valid when pressure is low and temperature are high. Let us see these points. After that we will go to next explanation, ma. Compressibility factor. Okay, before that let us see how these assumptions A and B are correct at low pressure and high temperature. Let us see that one. Low pressure. According to Boyle's law, at very low pressure, gaseous volume is very high. Very high volume is present for gas. That means the volume of the container is very big. At very low pressure, the volume of the container is very big. That means volume is very high. When volume is very high, the particles are very far away from each other. Observe, 5 molecules are present in one container. In this container, very low pressure is there because very high volume, na? Same 5 molecules I kept in very small container. Then those molecules are nearby each other. In which condition attractions will be playing important role? In this condition, attractions will be playing important role. Here, molecules are very far away from each other, na? So we can neglect the attractions. When attractions are neglected, real gases are behaving like ideal gas. Even the molecules are very far away from each other, volume of the container is very big, then this molecule volume is very small. We can neglect that one. But in this very small volume of the container, the molecules are present nearby each other. We have taken 2 conditions here. This is the volume of the container very high. In this condition, see, low pressure, high volume. This is high pressure, low volume. I am not changing the number of molecules, ma. Okay, now the condition is, coming to this one, the molecules are very nearer by each other, then they will be attracted strongly. When the attractions are strong, the deviation from idealness is more, because that is the main point. In ideal gas behavior, there should not be any attraction between the molecules. Is it correct? In condition of real gases, when the volume of the vessel is very small or it is present at high pressure, attractions are playing very important role in which they are deviating from ideal gas. That's why at high pressure they are deviating from ideal gas. But at low pressure, volume is very high. When volume is very high, the gas molecules are very far away from each other. When they are very far away from each other, the attractions between them will be very less, and almost we can neglect them also. That's why in this condition, real gas is behaving like an ideal gas at low pressure. Is it clear? I hope you understood, ma. So what is the condition of idealness? Low pressure, not high pressure. Next, what is the next condition? High temperature. At high temperature also, real gas are behaving like ideal gas. Why it is so? At high temperature, volume is high. High volume means the gas particles are far away from each other. We can neglect the volume of the gas molecules. At high temperature, we can neglect the volume of the gas molecules because volume of the container is very big when compared to volume of the gas particle. That's why we can neglect that one. If you are able to neglect that one, it is behaving like a ideal gas. Is it okay? Now at low temperature, volume is low. When volume is low, we cannot neglect the volume of the gas particle when compared to volume of the container, because volume of the container is very small. That's why here volume of the gas particles will be considered. So they are deviating from ideal gas. Okay, so what is the condition according to temperature? High temperature for idealness, according to pressure, low pressure. So real gases are behaving like ideal gas at low pressure and high temperature. I hope you are clear, ma. Observe clearly. Okay, this is about in what way real gas are showing idealness. This is done by using mathematical expression also. That is nothing but our next slide heading, compressibility factor. What is our next slide heading? Compressibility factor. Compressibility factor is represented by Z. Where Z is equal to volume of real gas divided by volume of ideal gas. Ideal gas is also called perfect gas. So here Z is equal to volume of real gas divided by volume of ideal gas. That one I am writing it as V real divided by V ideal. From ideal gas equation, PV is equal to nRT. Then this is related to ideal gas equation only, na? So here this is PV ideal, V ideal ma. So V ideal is equal to nRT by P. V ideal is equal to nRT by P. Substitute this value in here. Z is equal to V real divided by nRT by P. V real divided by nRT by P, that is Z, is equal to, this P will come to numerator, P into V divided by nRT. V is nothing but real gas volume. This is for n moles of gas. Z is equal to PV by nRT for 1 mole of gas. Z is equal to PV by nRT for 1 mole of gas. This is compressibility factor. If Z is equal to 1, PV is equal to nRT. If Z is equal to 1, okay, see ma, I am continuing here. Z is equal to PV by nRT. Sorry, here for 1 mole of gas I told na n is equal to 1 ma. Z is equal to PV by RT for 1 mole of gas. Z is equal to PV by nRT for n moles of gas. When if you take 1 mole of gas, n is equal to 1 ma. So here it will become PV by RT only. Okay. For n moles of gas, Z is equal to PV by nRT only. Na? If Z is equal to 1, this implies PV is equal to nRT. That means real gas volume is equal to ideal gas volume. That means real gas is behaving like ideal gas. Ideal gas equal to real gas if Z is equal to 1. Is it okay? Now we are going to draw the graph between Z versus P. The graph is in between or Z versus P. On y-axis I am going to consider Z. On x-axis I am going to consider P. If Z is equal to 1, that gas is ideal gas. Less than 1, 0.8, 0.6, 0.4 like that. Greater than 1, 1.2, 1.4, 1.6 like that it will be. If Z is equal to 1, that gas is ideal gas. This curve is representing ideal gas. But what about our real gases curve? This is for H2. At high pressure region, hydrogen curve is very far away from ideal gas. But at low pressure, it is almost reaching 1 ma. So by using Z value, compressibility factor, easily we can say whether real gas is behaving like ideal gas or not. If real gas Z value is equal to or getting equal to 1, then that real gas is behaving like ideal gas. See, on y-axis we have taken Z, on x-axis we have taken P. Okay, next. If you take nitrogen gas, even every gas is behaving like ideal gas at low pressure only. This is CH4, methane, CO2, O2, H2, N2. This is the graph between Z and P. I hope you understood the significance of compressibility factor Z. Now coming to the explanation once again. If Z is equal to 1, real gas volume is equal to ideal gas volume, ideal gas equal to real gas. If Z greater than 1, real gas is showing positive deviation. Positive deviation is not according to mass positive, it is above 1. These are all above this line. If it is above this line, that is positive deviation. If it is below this line, that is negative deviation. Below this line, it is negative deviation. These are all negative deviation. This is positive deviation. If Z greater than 1, real gas is showing positive deviation. If Z value less than 1, real gas is showing negative deviation. Now observe this graph. At low pressure, at very low pressure, all gases are approaching Z is equal to 1. So Z is equal to 1. All gases Z is equal to 1. At moderate pressure means this region, for all the gases, maximum gases, Z is less than 1. But for hydrogen and helium, that is exception. Finally, I will mention that one. See, at moderate pressure, Z is less than 1. At high pressure, Z is greater than 1 for all the real gases. But for ideal gas, at any condition, Z is equal to 1 only. That is only this line. Okay, so at what condition real gas is showing Z is equal to 1? At low pressure. At this moderate pressure and high pressure, real gas is showing deviation from ideal gas. That is the explanation we have seen. Now, what about hydrogen gas? Hydrogen comma helium shows Z greater than 1 at any pressure. At any pressure means at moderate pressure and high pressure, they will show Z is greater than 1 only. At very low pressure only, hydrogen comma helium, they will show Z is equal to 1. So hydrogen and helium, they will not show negative deviation from ideal gas behavior. Every time they will show whether positive deviation or they will show idealness. At moderate pressure and high pressure, they will show positive deviation only, and at low pressure they will show idealness because of their uniqueness, that is very small in size. Both hydrogen and helium are very small in size. Okay, ma? This is about compressibility factor. Now, depending on the postulates from kinetic molecular theory of gas and real gas equation, all these things, we have to come to one conclusion, that is, we need to do corrections in ideal gas equation. What is that ideal gas equation, ma? Ideal gas equation is nothing but PV is equal to nRT. We have to correct pressure and volume, and we have to write one new equation for real gas, because real gases are not following ideal gas equation. Real gases are not following ideal gas equation, that is PV is equal to nRT at any condition, means at all the conditions. Very rare conditions only they are following. That's why we need to derive one new equation which is suitable for real gas. That is called real gas equation, which is also called Van der Waals equation. Van der Waals equation for real gas. To obtain that Van der Waals equation for real gas, we need to correct two terms. Those are pressure and volume. That's why first side heading, that is pressure correction. First correction is pressure correction. Let us see how we are going to deal this one, man. We will see that how we are going to do the pressure correction. Observe carefully. This is the container in which I am going to consider one gas. According to ideal gas, there should not be any attraction between the molecules. Okay, now let us consider. I am considering this molecule here and another molecule is here. Between them, according to ideal gas equation, attraction should not be there. So without any attraction, this molecule is going to apply some pressure here. That means it is going to apply force on the walls of the container. By that force, it is developed by pressure. That is okay. Without any attraction between the gas molecules, my intention is only this molecule is going to apply some force on the wall of the container. Is it okay? Let us consider the force applied by this one. Because of that, some pressure will be generated. Let us take that as 1 Newton. For example, for your understanding purpose, I am telling without any attraction between the gas molecules, one molecule will apply 1 Newton force, 1 Newton pressure, 1 Newton force. Okay. Let us consider 1 atmosphere pressure. Newton means force, that is unit of force. Okay. This is going to apply 1 atmosphere pressure on the wall of the container. Now, in the real gas, there are attractions present between the gas molecules. Is it correct? Then, if the same thing, if you consider for real gas, this molecule will attract this gas molecule. Because of that attraction, this gas molecule is going to apply the force on the wall of the container, which is less than the force in previous condition. In previous condition, pressure applied by this gas molecule is 1 atm, but now it will be reduced. Why it is getting reduced? Because this molecule is going to pull the molecule. When this molecule is going to pull this molecule, this is not going to apply the force in previous condition. How much it is applied, that much force is not applied here. Is it correct or not? Once again, between gas molecules, if attraction is not there, the gas molecule will apply pressure 1 atmosphere. But if attraction is present, definitely this gas molecule will not apply same pressure. It is less than the previous pressure only. So because of attraction, that pressure is applied as 0.8 atmosphere, which is lower than the ideal gas pressure. This is ideal gas pressure, this is real gas pressure, because of attraction present between the molecules. That's why attractions between the molecules are playing very important role. Ideal gases do not contain attractions between the molecules. Already we have seen in kinetic molecular theory of gases. Here real gases contain attractions. Because of that attraction, less pressure is applied on the walls of the container. Is it correct or not? Then we have to correct this value or not. For this 0.8, if you add some small pressure, then only it will be equal to 1 atmosphere. That is called pressure correction. That is called pressure correction. Now that small p is depending on two factors. That small p is depending on two factors. What are those two factors? Small p is directly proportional to N by V. What is this N by V? Number of molecules present in unit volume. When number of molecules present in unit volume increases, this pressure will be furthermore reduced. This p value increases. This p value increases, total pressure decreases. Is it correct or not? When the number of molecules in unit volume increases, attractions between the molecules increases. If attractions between the molecules are increased, this 0.8 also will not be there. It will be showing 0.7. Then this p value 0.3. It is increased or not? That's why when number of molecules present in unit volume increases, this correction in p also increases. This p is nothing but pressure correction we are going to do. This is the pressure of real gas, that is capital P. This is the pressure we are going to add to be equal to ideal gas. Is it okay? I hope you are clear only. This small p is depending on two factors. Those are, first one, N by V. What is that N by V? Number of molecules present in unit volume. When number of molecules present in unit volume increases, automatically attractions between the molecules also increases. Again, this small p is directly proportional to again N by V. This N by V is nothing but collision frequency. This N by V is nothing but collision frequency. This N by V is nothing but number of molecules present in unit volume. If number of molecules present in unit volume increases, this small p also increases. If collision frequency is increased, collision frequency is nothing but number of collisions taken place in unit time. Collision frequency is nothing but number of collisions taken place in unit time. That is called collision frequency. If number of molecules present in volume is increased or number of collisions taken place in unit time is increased, this correction in P also increases. When this P will become 0, this N by V is getting lower value. That means number of molecules present in unit volume is less. That means volume must be very high, number of molecules must be very low. Is it correct or not? When this P is getting 0, this total value is getting equal to 1 atmosphere. That means real gas is behaving like ideal gas only. But practically all real gases contain some considerable value of P. That's why they are showing deviation from ideal gas. That is the meaning. I hope you are clear with this sentence. Is it okay, ma? Now coming to this correction, this small p is directly proportional to N by V 2 times. In one condition, N by V is called number of molecules present in unit volume. In one condition, N by V is called collision frequency. Okay, ma? At once, if number of molecules present in unit volume is increased, automatically collision frequency is also increased. Attractions between the molecules also increase. Then pressure correction also will be increased. Means more pressure we have to add to real gas pressure to show the ideal gas pressure. If attractions between the molecule is more, this P value is also more only. This value is getting decreased in 0.7, 0.6 like that. If attraction is here, increased. This one will apply with less force. Automatically less pressure is there. Even 0.8 is also not mentioned. I think you are understanding my explanation. Okay, so in this way we are going to correct. Now, this small p is directly proportional to n by v 2 times. That's why what we are going to write, small p is directly proportional to n square by v square by combining both of them. In one condition, n by v is called number of molecules present in unit volume. In another condition, n by v is called collision frequency. By combining these two, I am going to write small p is directly proportional to n square by v square. This implies small p is equal to some constant a into n square by v square. This is called pressure correction. If you add this one to pressure of ideal gas P, then correction will be done. That's why pressure correction is equal to P plus small p, which is equal to P plus a into n square by v square. Pressure correction is equal to capital P plus a into n square by v square. This is the value we have to add to pressure of real gas to make it equal to pressure of ideal gas. The small p is there, it is depending on two factors. Those are n by v, number of molecules per unit volume, n by v, collision frequency. Okay, ma? This is about pressure correction. So in our ideal gas equation, PV is equal to nRT. Instead of P, we have to write P plus A into n square by V square. P plus A into n square by V square. Our next side heading is volume correction. How we are going to do the volume correction? Let us see that one more. According to ideal gas equation, volume of the container is very big when compared to volume of the molecule. That means volume of the molecule is neglected when compared to volume of the container, and we are going to take total volume of the container as volume of the gas. Is it correct, ma? Now for this one small explanation is there, observe. What is meant by volume of gas? Meaning of that one, the available space for the gas molecules to move freely. The available space for the gas molecules to move freely, that is called volume of the gas. Now they are telling that this total volume of the container, in this total volume of the container, entire volume can be freely moved by these molecules. That's why only now we are neglecting that volume of the gas molecule. When volume of the gas molecule is neglected, that means no gas molecule is there. It is like very small point. When volume of the gas molecule is neglected, it is like one small point. This is one point. So this point can move throughout the volume of the container freely. But practical explanation is nothing but, observe, in this container I have 4 molecules of gas. I made those 4 molecules in one corner. I made those 4 molecules in one corner. For your understanding purpose, I am telling, actually in gas, at one place like this, 4 molecules will not be there. If I take, those 4 molecules are uniformly distributed throughout the volume of the container only. But now, for an easy explanation, I consider these 4 molecules in one corner of the container. Then, I am going to say that this molecule can move freely in this total volume except this volume. Correct? Because in that volume already gas molecules are there. Na? So this molecule can move freely throughout the volume of the container except this volume. Next, this molecule can move freely throughout the volume of the container, meaning no molecule is present here. For your understanding, I am telling you here, no molecule is present here, all the molecules are present in one corner only. This molecule can move freely throughout the container except this volume. This molecule also can move freely throughout the volume of the container except this volume. This molecule also can move freely throughout the container except this volume. Meaning, how many molecules are there? Those molecules' volume must be subtracted from the total volume of the container. That is only treated as volume of the gas. That is only treated as volume of the gas. Now, let us consider n molecules are there. N molecules of gas are present in this container. Small v is the volume of gas molecule. Small v is the volume of gas molecule. N molecules of gas will be present. Capital V is the volume of container. Total volume of the container is capital V. N molecules of gas are present inside. Small v is the volume of gas molecule. Then volume of n molecules equal to small n into v, small v. Volume of n molecules. Here 4 molecules volume only we are considering here. These 4 molecules volume, they cannot move freely. So we are going to subtract this 4 molecules volume from the total volume of the container. Like that, I considered how many molecules? N molecules. So volume of n molecules equal to volume of n molecules equal to NV. Volume of n molecules equal to NV. Is it correct, ma? Let V is the volume of gas molecule, then volume of n molecules equal to NB. Just 1 minute, 1 second, ma. I am going to consider small b as the volume of the gas molecule. Capital V is the volume of container, small b is the volume of gas molecule. Then the volume of n molecules equal to n into small b. This much volume must be neglected, means subtracted, not neglected. If it is neglected, it will become ideal gas. Okay, this much volume must be subtracted from total volume of the container to get the volume correction. So volume correction is equal to capital V minus NB. I hope you are clear. What is meant by volume of gas definition? The available space for the gas molecule to move freely. The available space for the gas molecules to move freely is called volume of gas. Now, for these molecules, what is the available volume? This is only fully except this volume. That is subtracted from the total volume. That is called V minus NB. V minus NB. This is called volume correction, and previous one is called pressure correction. Substitute these two values in PV is equal to nRT. We will get a real gas equation, which is also called Van der Waals equation. Now Van der Waals equation will become Van der Waals equation is equal to P plus A into N square by V square. Instead of pressure, I am doing pressure correction, into volume correction V minus NB is equal to nRT. This is called Van der Waals equation. P plus A into N square by V square into V minus NB is equal to nRT. Okay, ma? Where A comma B are Van der Waals constants. A comma B are called Van der Waals constants. Is it okay? So in this today's class, we have seen what about the correction in pressure and even what about the correction in volume also. Finally, we got Van der Waals equation. P plus A into N square by V square into V minus NB is equal to nRT. I hope you are clear, ma. From the definition, volume of gas is nothing but the available space for the gas molecules to move freely. In a real gas, the molecule's volume cannot be neglected. Those total volume must be subtracted from total volume of the container. This is the volume of 4 molecules. Like that, if n molecules are there here, those n molecules volume must be subtracted from total volume of the container. That is only, this total space is there, na? This is only free available space for them to move freely. That's why we are going to subtract this 10 n molecules volume from the total volume to get the volume correction, that is V minus NB. Okay, ma'am? Then Van der Waals equation will become P plus A into N square by V square into V minus NB is equal to nRT, where A comma B are Van der Waals constants. This is about today's class. In next class, we will see what are the units of A and B and what is the excluded volume. That value also we can find. Excluded volume is there, na? This excluded volume. We have removed the volume. For every molecule, what is the excluded volume we can consider. We can calculate, ma? That explanation we will see in next class. After that, furthermore 2 classes I will take to complete this chapter. Is it okay? That is about today's class. I hope you are clear. Okay. Thank you, ma. Have a nice day.